the recent vision, message, whatever you want to call it, a vision that showed me and helped me see and understand how we cannot save others and why we cannot save others. And it showed me that when we attempt to save others, as we are waking up from this dream that we are all in, our soul is dreaming. And as we begin to wake up, we want to wake those around us up. We want to wake up our friends. We want to wake up our family. Because now we see and we feel and we understand that we are all one. We start to remember, and we just want everyone to remember with us. We want other people to step out of their own suffering. We want them to see that they are loved and whole and holy and sovereign beings, and everything that we are remembering. We just want to run around and just save everyone. And this is a normal part of the process. This is normal. Of course we want to tell everyone the truth. Of course we want to save our friends and family. But this is a trap. And what I was shown was the dream is like a web. There's this energy. As I'm saying that, there's a spider web. Literally, I must have walked into one coming from my wrist to like my face area. That's funny. What I was shown was this web that we get stuck in, and we get stuck in this web, and we get raveled in this weave, in this web, and we fall asleep. We're in this dream state. You've been in this dream state for what seems to be generations, if we look at it from the concept of time. And as we wake up and we're leaving I'm going to use the visual of a spider because that's the visual I received. The spider's lair, like in Lord of the Rings, where they're, in this cave, wrapped up in this spider's web. I just imagine that the spider's venom is what has kept us asleep all this time, all these years, all these generations. And as we wake up, we want to, and we see our friends and family and the people that we love and strangers and whatever, people around us that are also in this web, lying around us too in a deep sleep slumber. We just want to wake them up and save them and help them out of this lair where this spider is just keeping us in a sleep state to siphon our life force energy, to keep us in a state of sleep, which is, the programming of fear, the lack, all of the programming. This energy uses the programming to keep us in this sleep state. And the programming is her venom. And this is just what I was shown. And as we wake up, just like if you were on a spider web, the moment you start moving, if you move lots to get out, the spider comes running to wrap you up again and put her venom in you and keep you in that sleep state, to put you back to sleep. So if you want to get out, to do it, just get yourself free first. To quietly move, go inward and just move. Be on your own journey. Don't try to save anyone. You cannot save anyone from inside the web. You cannot save anyone from inside that cave. That you have to, I think I just lost the trail. That you have to get out, get yourself into the light first. Yes, the urge to want to save the people that you love and to wake them up and say, run, get out of here. Can't you see that you're being devoured, that your life force energy is being sucked out of you and that you've been in a dream state? Can't you see? And of course, that urge is strong. But we have to fight that urge and know that they will wake up in their own timing. And if we are to help anyone, we have to first help ourselves. We cannot pull someone. It's like trying to pull someone out of quicksand while you're in the quicksand. You'll sink with them. You have to be on solid ground to be able to pull them up out of the quicksand. The same as this spider web. You cannot, if you try to pull them out of the spider web, you are going to get yourself sucked back into the web, create a commotion within the web where she comes running and she spins you up in her web again and fills you with her venom again to bring you back into a sleep state and pulls your life force energy out again so that you're back into a state where you are merely just in a sleep state. You are not surviving. You are not thriving. You are merely just surviving to continue to feed her. She keeps you alive enough just so that your heart beats enough to keep feeding her life force energy. And this is why you cannot save anyone else, not from that space. You have to quietly, inwardly find your way. And the ego is the biggest trap to having us fall back into that web. That ego is the sticky goo that the web sticks to. That when we have no ego, we are not prey to this trap anymore. That the ego is our biggest, the thing we have to be mindful of and watch the most, because it is what has us falling back into the web, back into the sleep state. And a lot of the need to save comes from the ego. A lot of other things come from the ego too. But the need to save, a lot of it does come from the ego. Yes, some of it comes from the heart, but a lot of it comes from the ego. And I see that the ones that are trying to save, that are coming from that place of trying to save, are the ones that are even deeper in this web than the ones that have never woken up at all. They are deeper because they are believing that they've figured it out and now they're going to save everyone, but they are even deeper in the web themselves. So we have to get ourselves out of the web first. We come into the light and remember first. And we wipe the webs from our eyes so that we can see clearly. And then we share our light and show others what is possible. And then the song of our souls, the song of our freedom, of our liberation, will be the vibration that starts to melt away the hold of the web on the others. It's not about going in there and pulling them up and trying to rip the web away and trying to yell at them to wake up and run and save themselves. It's not about that. It's about getting out yourself and then being who you're meant to be, sharing your soul's liberation, whatever that means to you. Singing, speaking, writing the book, whatever it is, whatever your soul, whatever your heart is here, whatever the gift is in your heart that you are here to bring forth, that you signed up here to bring, you do that. You do that because that is what ripples out and in turn helps them. But you're doing it not because that is your mission and that is how you help them, but you're not running to the places and trying to stand in the darkness to help them out of the darkness. That's not your role. Your role is to stand in the light and hold that frequency. Because we are all one and we are all connected. And if you're standing in that light, if you imagine this massive organism, and which is what we are, which is what everything is just this massive organism of consciousness. And if you imagine this organism and we're all connected, if you know that, and if even if you don't know that yet in your being, just imagine it as we are all connected. We are all we are all the atoms of this big body. And if we're trying to pull this body that is in denser energies out, we just have to be like, the Othello game where you flip the whites and eventually just, on the other side, and then it flips all the pieces. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but you just maintain that frequency. You just focus on your frequency. You don't pay attention to what's happening around. Even if no one else around you is on your frequency and they are still very lost in the dream state, and they are all dreaming and they are all thinking that you're crazy, like, haha, look at them, thinking for themselves, she's crazy, he's crazy, because they are still in that dream state. Even if you are the only one that is not in this dream state, that is self-aware, just allow it. You don't have to prove yourself. Just be and maintain and hold that frequency. Don't argue with them. Don't try to push your awareness on them. If they're not ready for it, if they're in that dream state, it doesn't matter how much you talk. If they're not ready to receive it, and if this awakening is not happening within them yet, you're wasting your energy. Your words are falling on deaf ears. And when we do this, we are entangling ourselves back into that energy, because there is back into the sleep state, because we cannot save anyone. We cannot save anyone. Everything we have to, we just have to focus on our own journey, awaken ourselves more and more, clean and clear our perception more and more. And when we are in the light fully, to do the things that help us stay in that frequency, have the practices that help us stay in that frequency, so we are not victim to falling into the dream state again, the illusion. It's hard to go back once you are fully awake. I don't believe once you are fully awake you could. I mean, yeah, I feel like you could fall back into it, but especially when you're still in the process of waking up, it's easy for, this energy, this spider, the dream weaver, as I like to call her, she lays traps for us, saying, oh, it's okay, it's just one cigarette, it's just one, whatever it may be. She convinces you that, just compromise a little bit here. Just compromise a little bit here. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And the more you compromise in your truth of what you know, the more you are falling into her web. And then she gets you enough that she wraps you up again. And then before you know it, you have fallen back into a dream state. You're lost again in her web. Once again, your life force energy being sucked out of you so that you are merely surviving. So get yourself up out of the hole, out of the cave, out of the web. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. You cannot help others. Yes, we want to serve, and it's noble, but your service at certain times in your journey, especially when you haven't fully woken up yet, is to get yourself fully out first, because we cannot pull other people up when we are in the quicksand ourselves. We cannot pull people up when we are in the web ourselves. We have to be free first. We cannot embody and hold the frequency. We have to embody and hold the frequency of freedom, of love, of liberation, of unity, of oneness, of everything that is the truth. We have to be able to hold that frequency, and we are not, and we cannot hold that frequency when we are still partially in the dream state. We cannot go back into hell to pull people up. We have to stay in the frequency of heaven. And that's not easy. It's not easy to watch people in suffering and watch people spin and spin and spin in the web. And you want to scream, and you want to just want to scream and say, what are you doing? And point out everything that you're seeing. But you can't do that. You can't. They're not ready to hear it anyways. And when they are ready to hear it, then yes, when it aligns, people may come to you and ask you things and stuff, but you cannot, they have to seek the answers themselves. This has to come from within them. You cannot create that for them. The answers, they have to be wanting to seek the answers. This awakening process has to start within them. They have to be the ones searching. Before I started to search, if anyone would have been talking to me the way I speak now, if I would have been speaking to that, 7 years ago version of myself, and I would have been trying to wake me up, I would have been like, girl, you crazy. What are you on? I would have believed a word she said. I would have just thought she was self-righteous and pretentious and all of the, I would have had so many judgments towards her, which some of you may have. And that's okay. You're all at different parts in our journey. And we have to trust the journey and where we are at in our journey, and to respect where we are at in our journey, to be with it. If you are still in the process of waking yourself up, be in that process. Focus on yourself. Get yourself up first. You will be the person that provides a light for others. You will. And your journey is your offering. Your waking yourself up is your offering, is your service. Because we are all connected. As you wake yourself up, this trickles up. And you are helping everyone else wake up just by you waking up. So it's not about running to them and trying to convince them and trying to show them and trying to tell them everything that you're learning. No, it's about becoming it within yourself. Waking up within yourself. Tapping into your heart yourself. Doing it all yourself. Do it for you, because when you do it for you, you are doing it for them. But it's not for that reason. Be devoted to yourself, to your journey. That is your service at that point in your journey, if that's where you are at on your journey. And when you get to the top, not talking about hierarchies, when you get on the other side and you're safe and sound in the light of the truth and you're seeing clearly, then you share what your heart, what your soul is here to share. Share the truth, sing the truth, be in your wholeness, whatever that means for you. We all have different gifts. We all have different things that we are here to do on this earth, and it's all different. And to not have judgments. This is something I see a lot of, and it's something I went through too, and it's more recently, maybe in the last year, this has shifted slowly for me. To not have judgments for what other people are doing in their lives, where they're at in their journey, how they're seeking the answers. Some people are using plant medicines, some people are using drugs, some people aren't, some people are against the plant medicines, some people are against the drugs. We all have these different ways that we are called to, these things that we're all searching for answers. We can't deny that. We see it everywhere. Why are people addicts? Why are people going to the Amazon jungle and doing ayahuasca? Why are people medicated on pharmaceuticals? Why are people drinking alcohol? Why are people sleeping around as much as they are? They're all searching for something. Desperately searching for something. And I believe we'll all find it if we just continue to search and listen to ourselves. But the way we find it and the journey that we are all guided on, because we are guided from within, each of us individually, that journey is going to look different for each of us because we have different wounds, we have different belief systems. This is all part of the web. The wounds, the stories, the belief systems, the things we have identified with, the movies we've watched, the books we've read, all of the things, everything our parents have told us, everything within us that has programmed us, that is part of the illusion, part of the web, part of the dream, has to be unraveled within us for us to fully wake up, to fully see the truth and know the truth. And for this to happen, because all of our stories, all of the programming within us is all different for each person. Yeah, there's some of it that's very similar for each other, but for the most part, we all have a unique program, and it requires a unique journey to unravel that program. So don't judge other people. This is the thing that I keep seeing in the spiritual community, where people are like, well, this is right and that's wrong. No, my way's right and your way's wrong. You should meditate and do yoga. You should, you shouldn't do plant medicines. You should do plant medicines. You should do drugs. You shouldn't do drugs. You should drink. You shouldn't drink. All of these opinions. You're bad if you eat meat. You're not enlightened if you don't eat meat. But there's both sides of every topic. And then there's judgment. But judgment is also a trap. Judgment is also a program. Judgment also keeps us in the web. So to drop the judgments and see that it's all perfect, to come to acceptance and neutrality, the 0 point within ourselves, that is also what is you will get to. This is a point that, this is what I'm coming to. This is what I've been stepping into, is this acceptance of where everyone is at in their journeys. And sometimes, yes, I allow myself to attach to some of the stories that are playing out, where it hurts my heart to see people I love in the illusion. And I have to come back to remembering that it's all perfect, it's all divine. To allow them to be on their journey and just hold space for wherever they're at in their journey, and be where I'm at in my journey, and not try to be on their journey, and not try to get them to be on my journey, not try to get them to see things my way, not try to get them to do things my way. Because that might not be what's right for them, and that might not be the answer for them. And to not tell someone, no, don't do that. You should do plant medicines, you shouldn't do plant medicines. You should meditate, you shouldn't meditate, even though I think everyone should meditate. But to allow people without judgment to be on their own journey and in their own process. Because God is guiding us all from within. Just like he's guiding you on your journey, just like he's guiding me on my journey. We are all God in human form. We are all pure consciousness that originated from the source, which is God. And do you think that God is guiding them less than he's guiding you? Do you think that you know more and you know better than they do? No, because God is in them just as much as he is in you. And yes, some of us may not listen to the guidance we're receiving as much. Some of us may distract ourselves more, but also that is just where they are at, you are at, we are at in our journey. There's a process to learning how to listen. And at certain points in our life, maybe we didn't know how to listen. Maybe we weren't willing to listen. Maybe we didn't want to listen. And that's just where we're at in our journey. So to allow people to be where they're at and not try to fix anything, not try to make something different than what it is. We have to. This is what I've been feeling called to do more and more, is to come into a state of total acceptance, because it's all perfect. If we tune into I'm just trying to figure out where to go. If we tune into God, the consciousness of God, what we believe, what we feel God is, I feel personally, the consciousness of God would see the beauty and the perfection in everything and everyone, just as it is. God has this higher plan. And I just feel when I'm speaking this, I just feel this inner smile. Like almost like not smug smile, but similar to this, like just a smug smile. Like God's smile within me, just being like, yeah, you don't even know how perfect this is, how perfectly orchestrated this is. This is all perfect. This is all going according to plan. And to take it lightly at the same time, to not get too serious about it, to enjoy it, enjoy this play, enjoy this experience, enjoy this very short experience that we are in. So, to wrap this up, I guess, is just, this is your reminder to just be where you are at in your journey. Watch your ego, be aware of the ego, because the ego is the biggest trap. And to not be in judgment, because that is also, when you notice that you are judging and there's judgment within you, that is something that is also keeping you ensnared, trapped to this dream state, to the dream world, to the illusion. To notice it when it comes up and dissolve it, to allow it to be dissolved. Because this is just another trap, another tie to the illusion. And this is what we are dissolving right now. We are dissolving the illusion. One step at a time in our journey. And you don't know how sacred, even if it looks like someone else is lost their way and like, making wrong choices according to you, they could be on the most sacred mission. And for the most part, and for most people, we are all on a sacred mission. God assigned missions, all of us. So just allow people to be on their mission, whatever that is, even if it looks wrong to you, even if it looks like they're going the wrong direction, allow it. Come into acceptance within yourself of it, because it's just another aspect of you. If you are just part of one big organism and you see everyone as yourself, come into acceptance of all the aspects of yourself that are experiencing life in different ways, that are making different decisions and are exploring their souls, their hearts, their minds, their psyche in different ways. Because that's all you're doing, is exploring yourself through this experience. Exploring your emotions, your feelings, your psyche. To me, I see the whole reality, our whole reality now, as myself, as a projection of myself. Every person that stands before me as a projection of something inside of me. And when you do this, the judgment starts to fall away, because you realize when you're judging them, you're judging yourself. Then you ask, okay, what am I judging within myself that's making me judge that? And what inside of me is creating this projection in front of me? This person, this aspect of myself in human form. What is this teaching me about myself? What is this showing me? And then that is how we are approaching reality and our lives, from a place of detachment and realizing that we are the creators. And then we are no longer the victims. We are the creators of this reality, of our own realities. And to just enjoy the process. I think that's all I have for today. Wishing you all so much love and light on your journey. Remember to just come into self-acceptance of who you are, where you are at right now in your journey, and give that out to everyone else around you too. Love and compassion and acceptance for everyone else and where they're at in their journey, because they're just aspects of you. And be here now. Be here now. Wherever you are at. Embrace it. Back on the trail. I didn't get lost.